Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with two matches here in the Desert Zaku. This first one here is going to be a 400 cost match on the new map, there we go. And this is going to be the 400 cost level 1 variant, and the next match is going to be 450 cost using the level 2 version of the Desert Zaku on Impact site. And yeah, the Desert Zaku, it's been an alright suit overall. I do have some pretty mixed feelings about it, but before I go deep into that, just gonna go over just some of the basics here with this suit. So the Desert Zaku, it was recently a limited mission suit. The level 1 only used to be a clan suit, but now that they put in the limited missions, they did introduce a level 2 version, which when you hear me explain it later on, you'll see why I'm really glad there's a level 2 version. But yeah, it is a general, and you have a pretty decent kit going on here. You have a rocket bazooka as your primary weapon. I think this one is specifically called the Desert Zaku rocket bazooka, or just the rocket launcher. And it is good to make that distinction because you can also equip the giant bazooka with cloth as another rocket launcher option, or you can put on the Gelgook beam rifle. And I think this might be the only thing that isn't a Gelgook or Gelgook related that can actually use this weapon. And it does look kind of funny on it because it's a Zaku using a Gelgook's beam rifle. In a way, it looks a bit silly, but I actually kind of like the look of it. And I do want to try to use the beam rifle a bit more because I did have a few matches where it was really fun to use it. So maybe one day in the future I'll have a match with it when I'm actually using that weapon. But for now, for both of these, I'm just going to be using the standard bazooka here that it comes with. Aside from that, you have that big axe there. That is an axe that is similar to the one used by the Dwaj, except it is your primary melee weapon on this suit. And I should point out that you only have one swing using it, but this thing can do a lot of damage, and it can knock over enemies no matter how you hit them. So if you do a neutral, a side, or your downswing, you will knock over an enemy, which is very nice. You also have some head Vulcans, which are pretty standard for the desert-based Zakus, it seems. And then you have the arm missile pod. You have, which I'm actually using right here, pretty good weapon for getting some stuns. You have the rocket grenade, which is shared from the Dwaj and the Dom Chopin. And then you have a machine gun, which is also really nice for getting staggers. I think it takes only 10 bullets to actually get a stun using that weapon, and it has 30 rounds, so it is a very nice stunning weapon there. And I think that's everything. I think that might be all the weapons that this suit has. If not, I might be missing one, and if I see it in the cycle, I'll try to cover it. There might be just one I'm forgetting. Maybe it's a weapon I don't use too often on this thing, though I think that really might be relegated to the Vulcans, so I think I have everything. But aside from that, yeah, the Desert Zaku is a pretty alright suit overall. Although I do want to point out that I have very different opinions when it comes to the level 1 and level 2 version, and this trope kind of goes with the lower cost Zaku desert types as well, strangely enough. So I'm starting to think that maybe it's just something with me and the desert versions of the Zaku. But when it comes to the level 1 of the suit here, I really could not get any good matches with it. This match here is the only one I've really been able to do decently well on. And there's actually quite a chance that y'all might not even be able to see this match, because this is when I think PlayStation Network was doing their maintenance, and the game completely just started acting weird. You'll see it at the very end here, where it keeps giving me a warning message saying it couldn't save the game. And even after this, it actually gave me a caution penalty for something that's outside of my control, which is definitely a bit ridiculous, but I did manage to get it fixed, and at least it was only a caution, so at least it wasn't too bad. And hey, over 5,000 damage to a Zogok, very nice there. But yeah, there was the slimmest chance that this match might have never been seen. So that's why I really made this a double feature, because I really wanted to get this match out. And the Yeah, again, the level 1, I'm not really the most fond of. I don't know if it's just like been like the maps or like the teams I've been with, because all those scenarios, the suit is really team based. You really want to be more around your team a lot of the time and like kind of supporting with your weapons and going in for melee when you can. Going in by yourself really doesn't work, and I did have a lot of instances where I kept like getting separated from my team a lot, so I think that's why a lot of like my level 1 matches with the suit really didn't go too well. The next level 2 match I have here, that I really didn't have that issue that much, so I think that's why I was able to do a bit better with it than like any of my previous matches, but the level 1 is alright. I don't want to say it's outright like bad or anything. I do think it's really good, and I have seen people do really well with it, so I think it might be just a case with me. And again, this kind of plays into the what I said, the trope with the desert, the Zaku desert type, where the 200 cost version of that suit, I really don't do that well with, but then put me in the 250, and then it's like my main like general. So it's really hard to explain. It's like almost a bit of an enigma with how that works, but I guess it's just, maybe it's sometimes at certain costs, it's just you do better with certain suits. And I think that's definitely evident when it comes to this suit here, as you'll see in the next level 2 match. But the level 2, actually speaking about that a bit, yeah, I think the next match will speak for itself. I did have a bunch of the matches I played with that version, I just did so much better. And I just feel like playing those matches really gave me a better idea about how good this suit can actually be. Again, you want to be around your team a lot to get in those melees, because that thing, as you can see, like as you saw earlier, I did like over 5,000 to a Zogoke, so you can definitely do a lot of damage with this thing. And I don't know if I get the Pixie at any points. Actually, on right here, maybe? No, I think I get a neutral in, and that does like over 2,000. I don't know if I get a downswing on any like array types throughout any of my plays here, so if I do get a raid, you'll probably see it do a whole lot of damage because, well, Thing does a lot of melee damage on its own as well as type advantage, so I'll let the rest of this match play out, and then we'll go to the level 2 match here when the last 20 seconds. And like I said, you will see in the end where just the game started acting funny and started giving me that warning message saying like they were trying to do maintenance and it couldn't save the game. So again, I'm very lucky to actually even get this match to save properly. At least it didn't like just kick me and like close the game or something, because well, how many matches it took just to get a match this good with the level 1? That would have been very frustrating, so luckily that didn't happen. But mission completed, and as you can see, yeah, failed to save game, abort process. I kept canceling it, trying to get through. It's actually a rated match as well. And yeah, you can see, I couldn't really look at the stats there, but I know I at least did decently well. And yeah, it just kept giving me that, and yeah, that was very frustrating. But we'll move on to the level 2 match here, 450 impact sites, and yeah, this one definitely ends a bit more on a high note because I didn't have any of those issues. I did think this one may have been the day after, like sometime in the morning when they weren't doing their maintenance stuff, so that's probably the only reason I was able to really avoid that. But level 2 here, like I said earlier, I do like have a lot like better matches with this version, and as you can see here, yeah, our team is really doing well trying to stick together. The enemy team is actually a bit more separated this time, so I'm trying to see if I can get this Alex here and finish him off. Looks like a teammate was able to get him, so not going to be something I have to worry about there. That looks like a Jim Spartan Black Dog, the raid version, so if I can get a downswing on that, that's going to be very devastating. Unfortunately, they did the melee at the same time, so they had priority, but hey, there we go, almost 3,000 there on the side swing. And yeah, because I had that type priority, I could not get the downswing off on them. At least I was able to dodge roll out of the way so they didn't downswing me, but I think at some point I do land a downswing on them, so we'll really see how much damage the axe can chunk at people. But yeah, as you can see, going in for those neutral swings, trying to knock people over as much as I can so my teammates can kind of get in. And I guess if I could say anything about this suit, if you're someone who really wants to just help their team and like you're really focused on getting those assists more than anything, then I think this might be a really good suit for you. Again, definitely really good for just trying to assist your teammates rather than kind of going in by yourself and trying to get those kills. But they get a kill there on the 450, Alex. So very nice there. I'm pretty sure I chopped their mole soon half with that side swing. There is a gun cannon detector. I really want to be careful around that because that suit can do a lot of damage to me. Gun cannon detector can hit like a truck. I did have a video, I think, planned for it a while back, but I did lose that clip, unfortunately, so maybe one day I'll try to get a new clip of that because, again, gun cannon detector is still a really good support. And let's see, boosting back here, trying to see what's around. I'm trying to see if I can find a part where I did get a downswing off on that Jim Spartan Black Dog Squad, because again, pretty sure I did a lot of damage to them. I should also mention too with the axe that it does have a longer cooldown than other weapons, which is definitely for good reason because of how much damage it can do. So if you're trying to do a combo, I will say you're not going to be able to get the downswing on somebody that you knock over, but if you're quick enough, you might be able to get the neutral off. So that is really good if you're trying to get that extra melee damage in. Or maybe if your other weapons are reloading and you can't get anything ready in time. There is the slim possibility that you can get something. Totally missed my downswing there on that Alex. But trying to see if I can just go in with my ranged weapons, try to chip at them a bit. Looks like their shield is damaged, so going to try. Actually, nope, the shield is still there. They are hopping out of their suits, but I'm gonna try not to allow that. But let's see. It depends if the enemy team does leave me alone. Though it looks like they are making their way here, so I'm gonna try to hold them off. Somebody is boosting forward. Looks like it might have been a Jetta. Did get the assist on them at least. And so far we have a pretty good score here going for our team. 5,000 to almost 3,000. Though we do need to be careful because enemy team can catch that up. There is a Silver Haze Kai. I think this might be what I end up hitting at some point that I do quite a lot of damage here. So there's 2 raids on the enemy team, which means plenty of opportunities for me to do some damage. And looks like their legs were broken, so I'm going to finish them off with a neutral. That's like one of the good things about this suit is that I feel like you don't necessarily have to go in for melee, which I know at least on the console version of GBO2, like we have like a lot of just the melee-based gameplay. I think on PC it's like more range-based from what I've heard, but in this game, especially since you can knock over enemies with any of your swings, I think this kind of just benefits this suit. And you really don't need multiple melee swings, even though that would be kind of nice. I'd be curious how it would work, like what that would be damage-wise, because if you go in for a neutral and then knock someone over and then you go in for the downswing, I assume it'd be really devastating, so that's probably why they don't really allow that. So hey, it'd be really nice for chipping at those raids. Did get the damage there, but it looks like my teammate accidentally knocked me over. Taking a bit of damage here, but nothing too bad. See what I can do here. There is the Silver Haze Kai, though I'm going to try to avoid them and stick with my team. I don't want to push with this thing because you also got a bit of fragility with this thing, I've realized, especially your legs. I think the legs on this thing can get broken kind of easily depending on what you're fighting, so that's another thing to really watch out for, but you can be quite the fragile suit when a bunch of enemies do target you, so you definitely want to avoid those situations if you can. If not, you might be able to get a few, swings in before you die, but, that's the worst case scenario. And hey, cap in point D right here for the team. Hopefully this will allow us to spawn in here. Looks like my suit was still up for a bit, but looks like they finally destroyed it now, so I'm going to hop into the Wappa here and start flying around. Trying to just get some extra damage in. I don't think I'm actually going to survive too long in this thing. Really just trying to chip at the enemy team till at least we can get to a point where it's safer for me to try and spawn in. which looks like it might not be for a bit because, yeah, enemy team has the majority advantage right here. So aiming for this gun cannon detector, trying to see if I can finish him off. I don't think I'm able to get him though. I think somebody does get me before I can finish him. Yeah, it would have been like a few more rockets, and I probably could have finished them off and gotten the points for the team. But actually, it was the gun cannon detector that got me. But at least they are low health, so if our team does spawn in, we can at least try to get them and get some extra points. Looks like everyone is kind of defending the base at the moment, which is probably a smart move because, yeah, it looks like they all started gathering in the I guess I'll call it the alleyway. I really don't know how to refer to that. I guess the canyon. I'll call it the canyon. That seems like that's a more fitting name for it. And it kind of looks like that's where the enemy team is focused at the moment. So going to try to see what we can do here to hold this position. They do have a pretty close score to us, so we definitely want to make sure they don't get any more kills than they need. And we want to make sure we also get a few kills ourselves just so we can kind of get ahead. I think I'm going to be able to get to whoever that is with my tracking rocket missile. Very nice there. And hey, also got what looked like the Silver Haze Kai with the machine gun. Moving in now, we in the last 20 seconds here, and see what we can do to try to get any last minute points here, or more like last second points here. Looks like there is a Jetta here. Going to try to pursue them, but I don't think we're able to get them in time because they start boosting away. And I try to go after them, but I think in the end, they are going to survive that. Yeah, they got one last stun on me. Don't think even a neutral would have finished them off, but just kind of getting that extra damage. But hey, timeout, mission over. And let's see how we did with this match here in the level 2. Now that we can actually see it here. And top in individual, going to send a few praises around to the team. And first placed overall with 4 kills and 1 loss. Yeah, but much better than I think I did in that first match there with the level 1 version. Again, I much prefer playing the level 2, so I probably will stick to this one if I ever decide to play it again for future matches. Might give the level 1 another chance if a different map presents itself, but that's going to do it for these matches here. Comment down below what you think about the Desert Zaku. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.